was gonna talk about Gunner's channel from an old viewer's point of view. I guess I used to watch Gunner a long time ago. Um, since he started, well, kind of since he started. I used to watch him at work. He was pretty entertaining, especially like in long shifts and his stories. And then whenever he would go live, I used to like all of that stuff. Excuse me. Um, but I stopped watching him because I started seeing his lies and all of that stuff. I remember, especially because since the beginning, a lot of people didn't like him because of all of the dropout and all of that stuff. But I didn't really care, because all of that gang stuff, that doesn't really. I mean, I don't really care about all that stuff. But I started seeing how he would fight with the little guys, like GB and all of those guys, and start talking bad about them. So from the beginning, I started seeing little things, because I would be like, if he's the OG or whatever, or even if he's in bad standings or whatever, why would he be trying to make them look bad? So, but I didn't really care, because I mean, I was a viewer, he's entertaining and all of that. But then I started seeing all of his dealings with other YouTubers and all of that, and how he started making friendships with Flaco and all of them, and it was always drama, always drama around Gunner, always, always drama. And he says that he's the most hated and this and that, but in reality, he's always caused all of that drama from how I said, from GB to Mr. 209, because Mr. 209, they used to like all of Gunner and all of that. They used to go on his lives, they even hung out in real life, but you know, um, Gunner even um, he let them down, you know. Um, from what I heard, Mr. 209 came up on a burger and all of that, but you know, let's just say Gunner's been a coward in front of other people many times, many times. And I mean, that doesn't matter. I was there to watch YouTube for entertainment, so a lot of times I didn't really care. But I started paying attention, all of that stuff. Um, let's see, what happened? Let's see, after Mr. 209, then that's when or that's around the time that Triple OG was on, and he was making Gunner's life you know, he started exposing a lot of Gunner stuff. And to me, it was interesting because I was a viewer, so I mean, but, watching Gunner getting scared and scared, it was, it was funny, but I was still a viewer. Um, I didn't start seeing, like a lot of his shady ways until, when Conejo came around, because I even started trying to troll Conejo because I thought Conejo was lying about Gunner. And then Conejo showed me all of the stuff that, you know, Gunner was lying about, and, you know, and from the beginning, he was like, if you want to watch him, shit, dale gas. That's his word, Conejo, dale gas. But, I started seeing a lot of it, and uh, you know, I mean, from a viewer, I mean, why would you care? It doesn't affect you, but um, I, I didn't like that he kept lying, lying and lying and lying and lying. Um, cause it was a lot of stuff, I don't remember, and I wasn't keeping track, of all of his lies, or when was he lying, but um, one of the things that made me catch on that he was lying a lot was he used to say that a lot of people were personal friends of his, you know, like what's his name, Mr. Not Mr. or Goldtoes. I remember he said Goldtoes was a personal friend of his, but then I was like, I mean, um, okay, he's a personal friend of his, okay, cool. But then I saw Goldtoes come out on American Cholo, and I think around that time, Gunner either didn't like American Cholo or they had gotten into a fight or something along those lines or something. But um, I saw that American Cholo beat Gunner to the interview with what's his name, Goldtoes. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, Goldtoes. And then in my mind I was like, okay, pues Gunner's an norteño or ex norteño or whatever, and Goldtooth is a norteño as well. I mean, why wouldn't? And if he's a personal friend of his, why wouldn't he get the interview first? Why would American Cholo get the interview, especially if he's from down south? So that started clicking in my head, like this guy's lying about a lot of stuff that he's saying. Um, and like I'm saying, to me, I didn't care because it's all entertainment, but I started seeing how it was affecting people in real life, Um, I mean, you could see how he affected Al, um, even, what's his name, Flaco. It affected Flaco's relationship with Rojo. He got in between that relationship, Um, I remember he burned a lot of his subscribers too. Um, and that's all alleged, Uh, um, but I remember hearing about it and all of that stuff because I mean, in between the comments and all of that, a lot of people talk, and I remember he burned one of his subscribers for like computer equipment or something like that, or something along those lines. But it was somebody that really, really, supported his channel, and from then on, I mean, I still kept on watching him. I think, I mean, it's I started bouncing around. I had my own stuff going on. So, but it was entertaining to me because I mean, I used to watch that at work. So, you know, uh, when was it around the time that was L, right? I was talking about L. I started seeing, he was trolling L, and honestly, to me, I thought L was going crazy, but now we all know that L wasn't going crazy, like he was really doing things behind the background to affect L and his wife, that's crazy, to go and be shameless enough to try to, break a marriage. That's crazy. From saying that you're a dropout to not a dropout to a 50-50, or what is it, a 50-50, something a little like that. What did he say? Um, then to burning his friends, his own subscribers, that's crazy. Um, let's see. Then from there, what happened? See, he burned his subscribers. Uh, he was going in on L. Then he went in on Flaco. I mean, he was going with Flaco and Rojo's relationship. Uh, I don't remember. That's when everybody stopped talking or whatever. But a lot of the drama was behind Gunner. I remember he burned people. That's when he married Dubs or whatever. Cause ever since he been like those two have been, doing a lot of lies and going behind people, and it's all about the raza, it's all about the raza and this and that, but you know, those guys ain't know about the raza. But anyways, as a viewer, as an old viewer, Gunner was he's an entertaining guy, he lies a lot. But as far as me, I wouldn't watch him because I remember watching him from the beginning. Like I said, I remember a lot of his lies, and people might say, "Oh, you're just a hater. You're just a hater." I mean, I'm just saying what I saw. From the beginning, how his conniving ways. He'll do anything to try to come up. He'll lie, 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 and lie. I mean, we've all seen it, with recently with Josh. Smothering him up, couldn't wait till he passed away to smother his name. Then all of a sudden, oh, it was you guys, it was you guys, it was you guys. Nah, it was you. Anybody that watches Gunner, do it for the entertainment, but if you want, but that guy's a snake. Just know that in real life he's a snake, and he'll come up on anybody.